Start. Namaste. So today is the last Wednesday of January. That time passes quite quickly. So today is a cleanness. So why I choose this one is, at the beginning of a year, well, that Western calendar, New Year. Did I tell? But anyway, so last time we started last time we practiced beginner's mind, right? So beginner's mind is something that we have a clearness, or, we forget about the past and we begin again. So that's the kind of intention of a beginner's mind. Then clearness and the cleanness that today I like to kind of cultivate to our practice. So clearing our nervous system and, whatever we have in our mind, we always accumulate our thinking and thought and ideas and what was in the past and what's going to be in the future. But our practice is the present moment. So we practice whatever is here. Then there's a hope that everything will goes, smoothly and everything going well. So practice is here. So we deal with whatever is here. So today I like to bring the mudra. So it's called Panchamukha mudra. So the 5 fingers, I'm coming closer. The 5 finger, pancha is a 5 and mukha is a face. 5 finger is facing each other, right and left. Then we create a space between the palms. So we hold this space. So kind of we are finding or creating a space within ourselves as the palms have a space between. So I think a yoga practice is that we are creating a space within ourselves to accommodate others or whatever comes to our way. So when we are stressed, we don't have a space to accommodate other things. So just we focus whatever the problem we have. So hope that, practicing the yoga or practicing to create a space and we can have a kind of a space, then we can expand that space. Okay, so let's hold this mudra and let's close our eyes. So wherever that you are comfortable, you can sit on a cushion or chair as well. So just bring your hands. So make sure that you are not tensed about that finger. So you want to curl the fingers, that is fine. And if you like to rest your thumb side to your body, like a heart center or, solar plexus, which is, below your chest. Just to be comfortable with it. Now let's bring awareness to the breath. Inhale through the nose. Then exhale through the nose. And continue the breath in, then out. And notice the fingertips are touching each other. You may feel the heat kind of warming the hands each other. Maybe temperature on right and left may be different, and you may feel one side is warmer than others, or maybe same. You may feel the heat on the skin where the finger touches. As if energy is moving right and left from the point of the skin touches. And imagine that energy, that flow of energy, or like a water or electric current, is smoothly moving from right, left, either way, whichever is flowing. Now notice the space between the palms, as if we are holding like a light ball or a fire ball that it doesn't burn you, it's warm you. So warmth in the hand. And that space, there is the warmth and heat that has a space. And hopefully that space between the palms can connect to the space inside of you. Maybe starting from the heart or wherever your body is touching to the hands. And as you inhale, just we are visualizing that space is expanding. And as we exhale, we feel the ground. Sits bone down to the floor or wherever you sit. And inhale, expanding the space. Maybe feel the top of your head reaching up. And then exhale, feel the ground. And maybe a little bit the resting feeling. Resting and steady and grounding. Then inhale, reaching up to the sky. Let's continue this way, the awareness of grounding. And then inhale to open the space or a little bit expansion or feeling the length of our body. And then exhale, grounding. Now we're going to bring awareness to the pelvic floor. Remember, the pelvic floor, it's the muscle group that shape of like a vessel or a ball. And supporting the spine at the very base. So bringing the awareness there is so important to be able to support our spine vertically. So when you sit, when you walk, that's a muscle that it's very helpful, beneficial. Then between the sits bone, that muscle is between the sits bone and back of a pubic bone. Then imagine just visualizing that the muscle or a ball of the pelvic floor and engage that. So slightly gathering the energy to the center, then slightly pull it up, and then as if you are sending the energy up through the spine. And then exhale, relax the pelvic floor, and at the end of exhalation, engage the pelvic floor again, squeeze and pull it up, and inhale, lengthening the spine. Feel the top of your head reaching up and opening up to the sky, vastness of the sky. Today is a sunny day. And looking up to the sun. And then exhale, descend the energy down through the spine to the pelvic floor. Then at the end of exhalation, engage and pull it up. Inhale. So this kind of exercise, engaging the pelvic floor, then sending energy upward, it's called mudra bandha. Mudra is the root. So harnessing the energy at the root. That's so important for human being who we walk on the earth with two legs and a vertical, so spines are vertical, erecting up. And let's do this for a few more rounds. If your hand is tired, you can hold on a little bit more curl or small, or maybe expanding the space. And last one, inhale, let's release our hands and reach our hands out and up. And exhale, bring our palms together to heart center. And you may bow your head to set your intention, dedication. You may set your sankalpa or remind yourself the new year intention. Then let's slowly open our eyes. Okay. Then let's come, I am changing some audio setting, just a checking on. So let's come on to the hands and knees, tabletop. Then if your knee is sensitive, and maybe you can put something under your knees. So I have a towel. And let's tilting the pelvis back and forth. So we're gonna, again, keeping the pelvic floor engaged and connecting to the top of your head. Just we're gonna, curving a little bit. So this line is not going to be, straight. And then exhale, round our back, tilting the pelvis forward. And inhale. So lifting the pelvic floor up and head up. So it's like a shape of arc. And then exhale, other way of arc. Now let's continue a few more rounds. So if your list is too much, and you can place the block under your palms. So whenever I have a thumb is not so comfortable, I use the block. All right. And then gradually come back to center, now connecting the pelvic floor to the top of your head and top of your head reaching forward. Then straight our right leg back. So the ball of the foot coming down to the mat, and push your heel back and down to stretch the calf and hamstring. Then keep connecting the pelvic floor to the top of your head. So we are having a great stretch to the back line. Now you may keep your left knee down, or you may use your core to lift your left knee off the ground. A little bit off, or maybe bring your left knee towards the chest. So using the hip flexor and a core strength to moving the knee upward. One more breath. And then exhale, release our left knee down, left foot come outside of the mat. Then right hand to the sky, spin your right heel. Inside of the foot is down. Now let's make a big circle with your right arm, forward and downward. Take your time, and a big circle back and over the head. And change direction. And opening our shoulder and creating a space and creating. So in the morning, early morning, our body is tighter. So as we bring the movement to our body, that the tightness clears gradually. Okay, then come back to center and again knee down. Let's switch that. So your left leg is back. And then ball of the foot or almost your heel want to come down to the mat. Then if you like, you may place your right knee down, or you can lift your right knee towards your belly. So decide how you like to hold a pose here. And of course, we are using our hands quite a lot. Make sure to open our fingers wide, the root of your fingers down. And of course, the choice is the right knee down to the mat. And maybe right knee come towards the chest more, using the core. One more breath. Excellent. And release. Now let's bring our right knee down and right foot come outside of the mat, and left heel down. Left hand to the sky and open. So notice how your right hand is under your right shoulder and left hand connect to that. So a little bit of curling your fingers out as if you are, remember that the Panchamukha mudra that we did, as if we are pulling the energy or expanding the space between your right hand and left palm.
All right, then let's move our left hand, big circle. Then when you finish one round, you do other side. Okay, then when you are done, come down, palms down, knee down. Then tuck our both toes under and downward facing dog, lift your hips up. So not too long here. Well, let's stay a few breaths here. And noticing your back of the body. If you like, you may pedal your feet, which is heels up and down. Then tuck our navel in and lift your hips if you may. And maybe creating the most space to the back of the body. Sometimes we forget that. All right, let's come down. Knee down, please. Then bend your elbows and we're gonna gradually come onto the belly. So how you come is up to you. But if you like, you may come like a chaturanga and a belly down. Okay, so belly is down. So let's start from cobra. And cobra is the leg stay down to the mat. And reach our hands behind you, interlace your fingers. And then point your toes and feel the top of your head is connecting to the mat. Exhale, fully relax. Then inhale, lift up, pull our hands back, and chest open. And shoulder away from your ear, lengthening. And maybe squeeze the glute a little bit. And legs really down. Inhale, pull our hands back and chest open. One more breath. And exhale, let go, drop down. Let go your hands by your side, palm face up, bend your knees. And let's wind wipe our legs right and left. So it's a nice massage to the quad front of your thigh. And if this is available, circle your ankles in the other direction and waking up our feet. Okay. So next one, it can be challenging. So this time we're gonna bring the Panchamukha mudra, which is the finger pad is touching each other behind you. So your fingers are, thumb is this side, this side, close to the, shoulder side. Then, pinky is up. Oh, I see, I see. So thumb is down and the pinky is up. So that's what I want to say. So creating a space between the palm. Let's see if we can do the cobra in this pose. Exhale, fully relax. And inhale, lift up. So it's a challenging. We are not able to pull our hands. But let's create a space between the palm and front of the belly. I mean, front of the chest. Wow, it's challenging. And exhale, let go. Drop down. And bend your knees. And wind wipes your legs. You can circle your ankle while doing so. Yeah, it's a multitasking here. All right. Let's release and plant our toes down, tuck our toes down, then palms under the shoulder, and press yourself up to plank pose or tabletop. So decide how you like to come up. And then downward facing dog, hips high. Okay. And then we're gonna gradually walking our feet towards your hand. Then grab your elbows and swing side to side, bending forward. And relax your head and bend your knees. Rest your belly to your thigh. Then as if, the water elements is a great for the clearing and cleanness, right? So we clean our hands with water, then we do shower. So imagine that the water is sliding off at the back, draping the water through your hair down and clearing. So a few days ago, we didn't have a water for day because we had a plumber comes to change the pipe. So realize. So when we have such a chance to realize what is so important, we always washing our hands. And soften your knees, let's round our back and gradually rise up to center. All right. So let's do breath of joy. So breath of joy, it goes like this. Inhale, hands forward. Then exhale, hands go like T. Inhale, hands forward again. Then on our exhalation, okay, feet is apart. Then exhale, bend forward and drop our hands. Inhale, up. Exhale, side. Inhale, forward. Then exhale, drop down. You may drop your head, or if it's dizzy, you don't need to drop the head. Then one last one. Then we say, open the mouth, ha. Inhale, exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. We are letting go, clearing the space. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Last, inhale, inhale. Let go of the tension. And gradually come up to center. Okay, so keep, this is, I learned Qigong. Qigong is a key, is a Qi, okay, Qigong. Chinese is Qi and the Japanese is a Ki. But yeah, creating, it's an energy flow. Okay, we are swinging our arms and lapping our hands around our waistline. So this movement comes from that Qigong or Qigong that they call. So the hand is tapping our kidney. Kidney is this area, waistline, right and left side. So tapping gently there. And we're gonna use the Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is a forceful exhalation through the nose and using our ab. So this is a Kapalabhati is clearing our nervous system. Okay, let's go. Exhale, exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come to center. So feet is apart and make sure that you are grounded and just let your arms relax and feel the connection to the earth. So we know that we have a steady foundation to stand. Okay, so we're gonna do the second round of the same one. Okay, so exhale through the nose. The Kapalabhati is actually means a shining star. So my understanding is shining. So we clear, so it's like a light bulb. It's kind of a shines, right? Light bulb, right? So after clearing our whatever we have like a confusion and clutter in our mind, we are clearing that. Okay. So also clearing our sinus and the respiratory system too. Okay, so let's begin swinging our hands and tapping. Now when you are ready, exhale, exhale. Relax your shoulder, relax your arm. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gradually come back to center. And let's stand and feel. I hope some heat and some, softness or, lightness to our shoulders. All right. Then feet is hip distance apart and keep your knees soft. So now what we're going to do is hold in Panchamukha mudra and having a space between the palm. So touching. So when we touch the fingertips, feel that touch. So bring in really awareness to that connection. And then finding a space, and that space is going to expand as you inhale, reach our hands gradually outward.
but don't do it like this much. So it's maybe like a 30, still 30 degree is left. You can still see your hands side by side, right? Then on our exhalation, soften your knees and little bit round in the back or tilting the pelvis forward and gathering the energy to the midline and coming back to Panchamukha Mudra. So you don't need to stress too much to the shoulder and arm. You can relax the arm, but notice the connection to the finger. Let's continue. Inhale, open. So maybe straighten your legs and the chest is going a little bit forward. And then exhale, soften your knees and tilting the pelvis forward a little bit, round in the back and come to center. Let's continue. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale, open wide. So when you open wide, how do you feel? Maybe lifting the chin a little bit up. Chin up means like feel the expansion of the lungs and chest, and your gaze goes a little bit upward. Then on our exhalation, we are really gathering the energy to the midline. We are engaging the core as well. Inhale, open. And then exhale. So we are expanding the space within our body and clearing the space. And one more time, inhale. And then exhale. And let's stay here. On the Panchamukha Mudra. And maybe thumb can rest on the heart center. And then gradually straighten your leg and stand. All right. So you can relax your arms. So next one, what we're going to do is, well, another unique one. So inhale is the same way. Inhale. Then on our exhalation, bend your knees and swing our hands like, does that make sense? So when you do that, making a sound of a C sound, it's like a snake sound. You don't need to imagine snake, but we are letting the air out through the teeth or the lips. Okay, inhale, expand, and maybe looking up. Then on our exhalation, bend your knee, bend forward, and swinging the arms. All right, rise up, inhale, hands reach forward and expand out. And open and lifting the chest. Then exhale, bend your knee, bend forward and really relax your arm. Let's do a few more rounds. Inhale, open. Then exhale, letting go and clearing. Last one, inhale, open, expand the space. Then exhale, let go. Excellent. And fingertips. Okay, let's relax the arm. You can swing arms a little bit, any direction that you like. All right, so when your arm is relaxed, so let's bring our fingertips to the shoulders. And then inhale, elbow forward and up, and exhale, hands back and down. Inhale one more time. So when you lift your elbows, find the space here, that side of the lips. Then exhale, hands back and down. Opposite way. Inhale, hands reach back, elbow back. Then up and finding a space to the side of the body. And then exhale, forward, almost elbow touching each other. And down. One more time. Inhale, elbow back and up. And then exhale, elbow gathering to the midline and release. Excellent. So now, feel the ground. Then it's important to have the connection to the mat, all 10 toes. And then inner heel, outer heel down. All right. Inhale, hands reach out. Then palms are facing out. Open our fingers wide and press the wrist away from your shoulder. All right. So if your arm can be straightened or can be elbow bent. Then let's make a circle with your palm. Make a circle and noticing the shoulder blade and keeping the neck long. Then change the direction. So any speed. And one more. Other way around. Then other way around. Then let's release that. All right. So now let's come to the front of the mat, please, and feet is together. So we're gonna take slow pace to do sun salutation. So when we do the slow pace, there is a benefit. So benefit that we can pay attention to our breath and our movement and the detail. So what we are going to pay attention is our feet, how we are grounding. And remember the pelvic floor and top of the head connection. Then if you can hold Panchamukha mudra, so we are creating a space within. So we begin, instead of Anjali mudra, we hold the Panchamukha mudra, creating a space within. All right. Let's together. Inhale. Hands reach out and up. Soften your fingers. Then maybe Panchamukha mudra over the head and gazing up that hand. And then on our exhalation, then forward, soften your knees. You can use the block here. And inhale, half a left. That's where we are connecting the top of the head from the pelvic floor. And then exhale, bring our hands to the ground, knee down, or plank pose. So your choice can be plank pose or knee down. And inhale, lengthen the spine. Then on our exhalation, chaturanga, or you may bring your chin down to the mat, bend your elbow, then belly down to the mat, or upward facing dog or cobra. Inhale, chest open forward. So upward facing dog, your thighs away from the mat, or cobra, legs down. And then exhale, roll our toes and downward facing dog, hips high. Then smooth breath. Remember the connection, the pelvic floor. So pelvic floor lifts up, but this time, yeah, downward facing dog or tabletop you can be. All right. Then inhale, looking forward, then walk forward or step between our hands. And then inhale, half a lift. You can keep your knees bent, then pelvic floor to the top of your head, reaching. And then exhale, soften your knees, bend forward. Inhale, rise up, grounding our feet and reach our hands to the sky. And then exhale, bring our palms, the fingertips together, Panchamukha mudra, then to the heart center, creating a space here. Inhale, hands reach out and up, and Panchamukha mudra, 5 fingers touch and gazing up that space. And exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half a left. So here we may use the block side by side. Then right leg goes back. Right leg back. Then lower the hip as much as you can to open your right hip joint. And you may hold the block. Or you may bring your right knee down. Or right knee off the ground and shifting the weight a little bit forward and back. Okay. Then everybody bring your right knee to the ground, please. Okay, I have something under my knees. Okay, so our tucking our right toe under and let's come up. All right, so holding the Panchamukha mudra here. So be aware of the toes, ball of the foot and the right toes. So that ball of the foot is helping our pelvis to move forward. So Panchamukha mudra to the heart center, creating a space. And then inhale, maybe moving the pelvis forward, or maybe just stay there. And then maybe holding up this space, Panchamukha mudra here, or reaching our hands up. or maybe look in that space between the palms. So decide how you want to be. So if you are moving the pelvis forward, find openness there in front of the mat, in front of the pelvis. One more breath. Okay, then I exhale, release our hands, and maybe moving, using the block or without. Then stretch your right leg or close to it and lift your right toe up. So flexing. So flex to stretch the back of the leg. So winter time, we're gonna do this quite a lot. Then tuck our navel towards the spine and find the length to the lower back. And keep your neck long. One more breath. All right, then exhale, plant our foot down. All right, then right side block comes to the right hand, then left hand to the sky. You may keep your right knee down or lift your right knee up off the ground. So there's a lot of option here, right? Then maybe bring your Panchamukha mudra and the right elbow to the left knee. And keep your hips down though. Keep your right hip down. And maybe looking up to the left elbow. So there's a lot of option. You may keep your right knee down, doing so. One more breath. And then exhale. Let's bring down, hands to the ground, and let's bring your right knee to the ground. Okay. Now, you may still using a block, moving the left foot outside. So left foot to the left side of the mat. And then maybe you are keeping halfway this way, or maybe coming lower. So maybe left shoulder coming inside of your left knee. Or maybe lift your right knee off the ground. So you may be using a block, two blocks side by side. You may be just being here, like hips are in a center. So there's so many ways, but we are opening our hips and stretching the hamstring, then hip flexor. All right, one more breath. Great. Then exhale, release. Plant our hands to the ground and let's step back. Either downward facing dog or you may be tabletop, plank pose. Then if your plank pose goes through vinyasa, plank chaturanga, upward facing dog. Then we come to downward facing dog. Okay. Then we want to gradually walking forward towards our hand. And inhale, halfway left, top of your head, reaching forward. Then exhale, you may use the block here again, left foot back. So this is other side, left leg back. Either you may bring your left knee to the ground or left knee lifted. Then shift your weight back and forth a little bit to open our hip joint. All right. Okay, so everybody bring your left knee to the ground. Then tuck our left toe under. Then rise up a little bit. So come to center, so shoulder. So center is like a shoulder over the hips area. Okay, so finding the toes and the awareness to the ball of the foot. Then Panchamukha mudra in front of you and space between the palms. All right, so moving our pelvis forward if this is okay to you. And finding a space to the front of the hip. Or maybe stay here. Or maybe reaching our hands up. The Panchamukha mudra, reaching and looking up that. And creating a space. So where do you find the space, or where are we creating a space? So maybe around the shoulder and neck. So instead of palms together, palms away, and the Panchamukha mudra, create a space to the shoulder area too. One more breath. All right, exhale. Let's release our hands to the ground. Then, to the block, or hands to the ground, and pull our hips back. So straight our leg like this time. Sorry, the holy, I know, but the knee today. We have lots of knee down. And left toe, right toe up, and stretch the hamstring. So if you like to challenge a little bit, you may have a little bit wider. So you may reach the right foot a little bit forward. So that's more challenging. And then tucking our navel in, and then find the length. Pelvic floor to the top of your head. So we are connecting that line. Okay. And then plant our right foot again down to the mat. So now left hand, you can use the block or without the block. Then right hand to the sky and twist. So there is a many option here. So you can keep your pelvis in the center and left hand down and right hand to the sky and moving our pelvis, a navel to the right side and twist. Or lift your left knee up to twist. Or you may Panchamukha mudra and left elbow, right knee and twist. Knee down or knee lifted. Then moving the navel to the right side. And maybe looking up to the right elbow. One more breath. Exhale gradually down to the center. Then moving our right foot outside. Outside means out the right side edge of the mat. You may you can stretch your toe and left knee down and resting your elbows to the block, or just staying here. Or you may tuck our left toe under, left knee up. So it's called lizard pose if you are lifting the left knee up. Then you may also float your right foot and right knee opens out more. So outer edge of the foot is down and the right knee opens out. So open the hips and stretching the hip flexor, hamstring. Shifting the weight forward and back if you like. Last breath. Then release. And let's come down on the belly. Legs back and belly down to the mat. All right. Then bend your knees, both knees please, and get your ankle or toes from outside. Then exhale, foot chin down to the mat. And inhale, kick into our hand. And open. Open the space. So when we open the space to the front of our body, we contract or flex, tighten our back of our body. So it's a back bending back of our body muscle works, and stretch the front body muscle. One more breath. And then exhale, let go, drop. Then bring our palms under the shoulder. You may come to child pose or downward facing dog. So either way, we are stretching the back line of the body and releasing the glute or buttock. All right. I'm gonna inhale. Come to downward facing dog. Lift your hips up if you are child pose.
So just one more pose. And inhale, light leg up. Then exhale, light foot come to the mat. Here we can use the wall or without wall, warrior one. So let me do the wall one. Wall hands come to, so finger pad, all finger pad comes to the wall. And warrior one. Then another version, you can bring the block to between your knees to stabilize your front knee, or warrior one in the floor, Panchamukha mudra, and the hands reach up and gazing up. So yeah, then block actually really helps to grounding. Then if you are connecting the finger pad to the wall, and just notice the connection there. Then moving our pelvis forward and open front of the body and a space. One more breath. And if you are in the wall, you can place the palms down to the wall, downward facing dog, or you may bring your hands to the mat, downward facing dog. Or you may do plank to chaturanga, upward facing dog if you like. And let's together big inhale. Open your mouth, exhale. One more time, inhale. Open your mouth, let go. All right, inhale, left leg up. Then step between our hand, the left foot forward, warrior one. So either finger pad come to the wall. So if you do so, hands, try to see if your hands can go up more. Then finding an openness to the side of the rib cage and the armpit. And then if you are doing the warrior one in the floor, finger pad down and reaching up. Then block between your knees is a great tool. All right, one more breath. Excellent, release. Let's bring our hands to the ground, downward facing dog, or go through vinyasa, last one. And then inhale, looking forward. And then exhale, walk forward, and let's come onto the seat, please. And lie down. So we're gonna do the lie down and the belt close by, so that anytime we can reach to. Then figure for right foot, right heel, come front of your left thigh. So this is the same as a pigeon. So if you like to do pigeon pose, you may do pigeon. But I think this is more easy to access and I like it. The lower back or your back is resting on the ground. But purpose in a pigeon pose and this pose is the same, that we are opening the outer hip and the piriformis. So you may feel that the right side of the buttock, the glute is stretching. It's called piriformis, the muscle. It's very hard to stretch, but pigeon or this pose can do. All right. Then gradually moving your legs to the left side. Then we're gonna twist and spread our arms to the side and maybe hug our right knee to the chest. So it's more intense stretch here of the same place. Those hamstring, right side hamstring, the right buttock, outer hip. And look to your right hand. Then let's slowly come to center and switch to the other way. Left foot come in front of your right thigh. And move your right knee towards your left knee out. And see if you flex your foot helps to the stretch that you like. So yoga practice also experimenting with your body. Some pose may not work with your body. Some pose may work great, right? So, but we don't know until we do experience because our body is different. Everybody has a different body structure, then different problem that we have, right? Then moving our legs to the right side and twist. Different limitation than the potential. So we are discovering that by moving our body. That is asana practice. So asana practice is a yoga posture, physically moving our body. That is called asana. Okay, then gradually back to center, please. And then let's use our belt for the hammock pose and make a big loop here. Then your right foot is connecting to the belt, and another end of the loop is your head. So today, for the purpose, if you are comfortable, so try to see how small loop that you can be okay with it. So we had a lot of a stretch to the hip flexor. So I want you to increase the flexibility of the hamstring and the hip flexor. So your leg maybe can come close to your head. But if that's not so comfortable, you don't, of course, not forcing it, but try to see if you are okay with a short loop. So in order to get feel of the neck stretch or a spine stretch, the belt should be resisted, means not loose. It's a quite, what's that called? It's not tight, but I don't know the expression of that. But anyway, not the loose way. So equally pulling the neck up or head up, the legs up. Also, if you know Hanumanasana, so Hanumanasana is a different orientation that your legs is on the ground, then you do the split. So it's actually the same pose what we are doing here, but it's because our back is on the ground and we can rest it. It's a little bit different feel and intention, but think about it, it's the same as the Hanumanasana. All right. So we're going to gradually release our head. So we hold the belt with your hand, right hand. Then gradually open our right leg, externally rotated outside. And feel the openness to the inner leg. Did I say this? It's a winter practice. We are focusing on the kidney energy flow. This helps to activate the function of a kidney. So it's starting from the foot arch, bottom of the sole of the foot, inner ankle, inner knees, and inside of the leg goes all the way to the inner groin and to the other side of the leg, left side as well. All right. Then bend your right knee, please. Then move your leg to the left side. So this time we use the left hand. Then notice the pinky toes and goes out. And the outer edge of the foot is moving outward. Then twist. And you may spread your right hand out to open and creating a space between your right fingers and right pinky toe. So also winter time we work on the bladder. Bladder is an organ. And that energy flow is starting from the pinky toe, or actually ending at the pinky toe and outer edge of the foot. So activating that the bladder as well. All right, and then release, and all related to the water. You know, bladder holds the water, waste water in our body. Then kidney is a cleansing our blood. So blood is a water of our body too, the liquid. Okay, changing the legs, please. And left foot and your head, hammock pose. And then your head rests onto the belt. Then relax your shoulder and arms resting on the ground. Now you may see how wide you may open your legs. You may slightly bend your left knee if you like. All right. Then gradually, let's release the head and hold the belt with your left hand. Then externally rotate your left leg out and open. Activating the kidney. Then switch. Bend your left knee, left leg comes to the right side. Now, outer edge of the leg, outer edge of the foot, the bladder meridian. And twist and release the lower back. All right. Now, when you are ready, slowly release and back to center. And let's lie down to Shavasana. But make sure to be warm. You may wear socks or clothes on and rest. Letting go of the tension. And find in a space inside. And clear the space. All right. So at the end of Shavasana today, I like to do Brahmari Pranayama. Brahmari Pranayama is Brahmari is a bee. So humming bee or hummingbird sound that we create, then that sound vibrate and through our body, through our head, and calming or creating our nervous system. So we're going to use the hands, 4 fingers cover our eyes, and the index finger is touching to the eyebrow. And thumb is closing your ear or just press the outside of the ear. And inhale through the nose. And on our exhalation, making the hummingbird or bee sound. Let's do 3 more rounds. Last one. Let go your hands and rest. And observe and feel the calmness and clarity of our mind. Our practice is here and now, this moment, whatever we have. Gently moving our toes and the fingers, and moving a little bit wider and wider, and reaching our hands over the head. Let us stretch from toes to fingertips. Let's take a big inhale stretch. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and open our mouths. Exhale. And hug our knee to the chest. And thanks to our body, mind, and heart. And appreciate what we have today. And roll on to the side. And when you are ready, gradually place yourself up to a comfortable seat. Eyes closed. Let's together inhale, hands reach to the sky. And exhale, bring our palms together to heart center, or you may keep the Panchamukha mudra space between our palms. And hold in the golden, glowing light. And golden shining light to our heart. And may everyone benefit this yoga practice. May everyone see the goodness, happiness, peace within ourselves and everywhere. Thank you very much for letting me guide through your practice, sharing your time together. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining this morning.